Oh, we're live. We're live. Hi, everyone. Give us a little yes, hi, you can hear us if we're live. Look, we're here together. Way actually on the same screen. Or we might have to turn that. We'll just turn that volume off. We are live. Thank you everyone for joining us. We've got Andrea, we've got Linda, we have got Polly, we have got Pat. Hi, Pat. Really lovely for you to join us, and I've got a big smile on my face. Hi Beyonce, hi Pat. I'm so happy I've got Huna in the house. So how are you doing, Huna? You have been a busy man.
I feel great, thank you very much, and I'm glad to be happy to be here in the beautiful nature out here, guys. You got to visit, really.
Yeah, come visit. I haven't even introduced Huna to all the animals yet. He's met some of them yet, but I have had a really exciting afternoon because I have just had my seal done with Huna, and it was absolutely amazing. I'm going to talk a little bit about it, but Huna, tell everyone, what does the seal stand for?
Wow. It is a polishing of the headlights, in a way. There's purification through the DNA. It is an activation that opens the consciousness to receive higher levels of the DNA from 12 strand to 24 strand, perhaps higher. Yeah, at least a minimum to 12 and 24. And there's a boost of energy and the boost of the energy, and also that helps the continuity and the flow of the internal current. Sometimes they call that the global electric current that flows through the body and brings balancing to the system, the electrical, the voltaic system, and it helps. It's an interesting feeling too. It's an interesting feeling because it's something that may be in the memory that's ancient, but then something that's so familiar, but then again so brand new. And the seal is an acronym. I share it as an acronym, but you may have heard of the seals. I think we were talking about the 7 seals, and you may hear about the seals from other religious matrix. This is not that. But I keep the seal, which is an acronym for Source Element Ascension Light. Okay, so Source Element Ascension Light, pretty much an acronym, and it transmutes, in other words, transmuting those codes from the religious matrices and allowing the energies to fully open and help you break out of these doldrums. the dungeon maybe, or depends on what's been grabbing a hold of you and what's been blocking you, and what's been like causing so many issues from these matrices. So it breaks you out. It's a breakout. It's a seal that's not a seal, but a breakout. It's kind of the opposite of seal. We're not sealing you away anywhere in a medieval what do you call those casket things, but it's a breakout, liberation, and opportunity.
Absolutely. I've just got a question here from Lee. I might have to put my glasses on, Lee, because I'm so far away from the screen I can't see. Do I feel a boost of energy? Do I feel different? Absolutely. I feel really different. When I was going through the seal, I could feel like I was growing roots into the ground. I felt really, really grounded. And I could feel the balancing of my energies of my left and right side, my masculine and feminine sides coming into balance. Lots more to talk about. But absolutely, I felt the energy. I felt it shifting at different times throughout the ceremony. I felt this really, really, really strong grounding and a real feeling of peace as well. And Yes, so much more I could go into. I'm sure I'll be talking a lot more about this over the next couple of weeks as it sort of integrates, but really, really lovely feeling.
Yeah, sometimes it integrates rather quickly and you embody it, or it takes a couple of days, maybe up to 7 days. But you notice the difference. And it's like with the liberation part of it, and you may feel this is like a kind of floating feeling comes over you at some stage, and this has been reported so many times, kind of a floating feeling where you've let go of things, or some things let go of you, and detached from you. Maybe they say there's things that are hanging on, like, what do you call those implants and things like that. They no longer can stay in the environment. And then you get this feeling of kind of a floating liberation feeling, and then you are able to bring a higher intention. Not that you couldn't, but it allows the higher intentions, what you stand for, to take hold, to become even more stronger and even more anchored. Your empowerment, there's an empowerment to come. So we'll be watching closely.
Yeah, you can all tell me what you're noticing over the next few weeks, but lots of questions about, do I feel different? Yes, I really do feel different. To be honest, I was speaking with Huna before we started, and when I was at the Glastonbury Burning Mask event with Huna a few months ago in the summer, that was really the start for quite a big transition for me, and it's gone on and on since then. So this is literally taking it to the next stage. And I know Donna was asking, is it an individual thing you do singly, or can you do in front of an audience? You've done both, haven't you?
Well, it can be private. It can be occasionally, if it can be witnessed by a close friend and family, or and if it could be, at times I ask if it can be public, to share that energy. I have done this a couple of times. Fortunately for everyone, I've managed to keep my form and not shift into other beings like I normally do. They're like looking, what the heck happened to Huna? Who's that sitting there? And some people have been like wondering about that. So, but yeah, it all depends, it's an incredible witnessing. Those who witness also receive some of the energies from it, It's like, how can you not? The thing takes the field. The seal comes into the field in the room and into the space and just takes over, right? But there's a frequency that comes through and is running throughout the theme, and it's like a shooting star coming in and carrying a lot of treasures with it. And then when they enter the body, at some stage, it starts to blossom and open up and then come up through the body and up through the crown and blah. And so people who are witnessing and watching this are seeing that. And we may even like shape shift that sometimes when you're seeing. Oftentimes my face will shape shift to the different lifetimes and characters that you have been. It's not necessarily mine. It's also a reflection, a mirror. And that is pretty interesting too, let me tell you. But we can do this in the public too, for sure. Yeah, it's always exciting to see the response.
It's something I might be talking to you about tonight over dinner, Huna, is because one of the things I'm really drawn to is actually getting people together and things. So Huna and I might have a chat about how we might do some of those things and perhaps some other events in different places. I think one of the things that Linda's come up with a very good question here. Could you ask Huna what we can do to release all the negative energy? Because that's something that's a very good question, Linda.
Obviously there's a maintenance there's a maintenance program that should be adhered to at some stage. So it's not always about the healing. The system that I work with is Lemuria. And so there is knowledge and wisdom there. And there are tools and modalities there from Lemurian times. And they are from before Atlantis. Let me share. It is absolutely before Atlantis, and it actually means something to be before Atlantis, and the time from the golden ages. And so when removing the negative energies is almost like just in the consciousness to go back there, go back to Lemuria, to return to Lemuria, to the golden age when you may have a memory, you may even have knowledge, you may be carrying things from there. If you are seeing the whales and the dolphins, go swimming with them, get in the water. That also helps. But there are also very powerful modalities from Lemuria that we work with directly, that the Hunas work with. Okay, and we can share those with you. There are tools, let me say, from the website. If we are in the location and we have a workshop, well, now we have the Hunas doing workshops and can be in certain places. This is why I came here. Huna Masahawa just completed a successful workshop here in the UK. So if you're in the UK, we can invite her to do a workshop if I'm somewhere else around the world or if I'm here. And so there is also services that are available that I do, sessions that I do have that you can sign up for. And we can get some time on that. So I think at the sharing of the website, can I share the website?
Yeah, what we're going to do is tell them about your website now, right. But also because we did this live at the last minute, what I will do is go back in this evening and add under the video and YouTube in the description box below all the links and everything. So, but your website is... I've got a new system. Right. Upgrade.
houseofhuna.earth. Okay. www.houseofhuna.earth. I'm sure you all know how to spell house. Okay. .earth. All right. And that has, it's a brand new site, but it has some of the services on there now, and I'm loading more on there every day, and courses and webinars and the tools to work with. They're all in there, making this easy, making this accessible. And it is accessible, you know. We want to do that. I can't be in, 10 places at once, maybe 2 or 3 places at once.
I was going to say,
yeah. My energy gets out there and it's been doing very good, very busy. So if you can go to that'd be a place where it's very convenient to connect. Yeah.
Now we're just about where I'm going to come on after this next question. I'm going to ask you, Huna, to discuss, because it's come up for both of us about now is a time for doing. Yeah. But I just want to ask this question on the screen, please, from Gail, about can you share my Huna name and essence?
Yes. So the essence and the cosmology came through. Now, the Huna means one light and many lights in one. Now I'll challenge you all to be able to, I know you can say it in English, but now say it with one word. Find one word that can say one light and many lights in one. Okay? Find one word that can translate to that. And so far now only Huna can do that. And then the essence or the light in action of the Huna, for Catherine, she received Kawahori, Huna Kawahori, she who is of the first birth and the first love, a gift from the angelic seat of light. A gift from the angelic seat of light. Now, this is not a name. It is an essence. It is a sound of light in action. Kawahori, Huna Kawahori. The way that the Huna arrives and the way that we come to these energies is by deconstructing her name, the given name, the birth certificate name, and deconstructing those sounds and the letters to find the energy, the pure energies, and that's how the Huna arrives. Okay, and there's more to it than that, but that's a beautiful essence, Kawahori, and there cannot be two, because only one arrives. Like, it's not repeated by anybody else. There's only one sovereign essence for for Catherine, and that is, it can be spoken in many ways. But from the seal ceremony as a Huna, as the one in the many, many in the one, who is unlimited and infinite and unlimited, is the Huna Kawahori. Huna Kawahori. This is the language of Lemuria. I might be Maori from New Zealand, right? But Maori is a sub-tribe of Lemuria. You know, we have the birthright from Lemuria. And so I speak that. Those sounds are from Lemuria. They are before Atlantis, so they are before Sanskrit. They are before Sumerian. So the sounds are primordial first principle sounds. First principle means for Kawahori, which means Ka, first birth. Okay. Wa, first love. Okay. Ho means the gift of, or the gifting. Ri means the seat, and the seat of light. Kawahori. Now, how do I say it's from the angelic? Because Waho is a stargate position off planet, which is an angelic frequency stargate, which is spoken of as Waho. It's connected to the turtle medicine. What month were you born in, by the way?
November.
Okay, so she's getting next month, right? And so Kawahori's birth month in Lemuria is the butterfly. That's the representative of that moment. No, see, this is the cool part I love about Lemuria. What I love about Lemuria is that it gets rid of everything that doesn't serve, like days, minutes, hours, weeks, months that were named after emperors of war. Who needs that, right? And Septimus and Juno and Caesar and all the, who needs that? They don't need it. That can be go. But what replaces it in Lemuria is what is there from Lemuria is the forces of nature and the birthrights and the birth signs that support you. They stand with you. They hold you up. They're not just some words painted in Greek in the sky. And so that's beautiful. So that's the butterfly, right? Which is spoken of as Kahuku Motu. It takes over from the month. So you don't say the month. Now you are saying Ina Kahuku Motu, which is the moment that focuses the energy of light. And it is from the calendar of the light of days, that which is part of the Huna's support mechanisms and technical support, if you like, ascended masters and ancestors that are all in that light. In the light of days versus the legend of days. Let me get rid of that. Legend of days is draconian, the draconian system. Okay, we are not of the draconian, we are of the Lemurian. Okay, so there's a whole lot more there, no judgments, but this is how the things are, right? This is what I work from. I work from Lemuria, right?
We've got a question here. I don't know, just from Janet Huna. I don't know if this is something you can speak to at all.
Hello,
this is our lovely friend.
Tani Maro saying hi. He wants to butt right in there. Doesn't he look like ice cream to you? I want ice cream now.
I'm going to introduce him to my other horses later on and see what they think. So they haven't seen me in my new energy yet because we went straight from the ceremony on to here. Now, Janet's got a question, Huna, about if someone's on drugs for depression, how does that affect things?
Simple start. Get them off the drugs. Take them away from the drugs. Then the next part is there's some powerful modalities that we work with for mental health. It's really difficult to just explain right here because you got to go into.
Yeah.
These are things that you won't not have heard of or done. So certainly taking the seal is a beginning, as the seal starts opening up the system for energy. But you got to take the drugs off the people, right? There's no more drugs. Don't need it. Don't need it. Bring the medicine from the light. Okay, that is the feeling of drugs, by the way. If you know how to access, if you learn how to access medicine in the light, there's all manner of drugs there. How do I know? Because you've taken them all and you can remember it. Now, if this person is taking the drugs, you don't need to take it anymore because that person knows the feeling, right? And so without the physical effect, you can reach the feeling of the medicine from the memory. Am I yelling? I don't mean to be yelling.
No, not at all.
From the light comes the medicine because the plant receives the medicine from the light. and the plant offers the pharmaceutical companies to make a drug, or just natural medicine, natural. So take the drugs off the person, but still allow the person to access the medicine in the light. Now that's a whole nother approach from the modality, and a modality that goes with it. All right. In the mental health, you take lose the mind. We can still lose the mind, which is why they're taking drugs, so they can lose their mind and not have to think about things. Well, we can lose the mind without the drugs and still have the same effect of being out of body, but while not receiving those dangerous effects to the body. And then as that is gradually built, worn down, and then gradually work through it, it takes some time, right? Just so much of it takes time, and it depends on how deep the person is fully addicted and has had a long life of drugs. But start by taking the drugs off the person, and by administering the same medicine in the light. That takes knowledge and wisdom of the tools that we are working with. It takes time.
So one of the things that was coming up for us quite a lot today, Huna, was about, and quite a lot for a lot of people, I think, is about us. We're really in the energy of actually doing, of people taking individual action and starting to do things themselves, not just watching, not just talking about it, but to actually get up and do.
Yeah, I mean, it's light in action. But there's a vocabulary that has to disappear. That vocabulary, what do you got here?
It's my peppermint oil.
Oh, okay.
Do you like it? Do you want any?
Do
you want any?
No, I'm good.
I put some on here.
And go ahead. I can experience it from here.
Love my peppermint oil.
Nice. Yeah. So what was it?
So about being in light in action, actually how important it is that people don't just intellectualize things; they actually take action.
Yes, if you're going to open your mouth, right, and you want to say something, let it not be that you always have to explain something. If you're going to speak, let it be that you are doing something when you are speaking. It is doing something. It is doing energy work. It is moving things. And so you're not necessarily explaining something, putting people into their mind. You want to help them get away from the mind and let the brain do its work. If the brain is going to do its technical work, and at the same time you're speaking codes to bring things into action, right? You have to have a knowledge of that, by the way. But your vocabulary will need to change, okay? And so as soon as you open your mouth, things are moving, things are happening. You can't tell people to wake up. You have to wake them up, right? Yelling at somebody like, "What's guys would wait? Why don't you wake up? Wake and shake him." You can't even shake him up and try and wake him up, because that's not waking them up. You want to bring into action through what you say, and that what you say is energy, vibration, frequency, the magnetics. And the more you work this way, and the more you get into that, you start affecting him. Okay.
Yeah, I think it is really important because, we can talk about these things, have these tools in our toolkits, but no one else can do it for you. So when you really start to move forward in whatever's calling to you, you're going to shift your energy so quickly. And I think that's so important. We've got a question here from Charlotte Huna about how can she find out more about Lemurian language?
You can probably Google some things and may pick up some information, but not entirely. You need to be sitting with somebody, right? And we are working on a dictionary, by the way, and a manual, some kind of a manual setup. We're still working on it. You've got to learn to you got to unlearn to learn. you got to unlearn to relearn things. Okay, you got to unlearn the draconian. You got to unlearn the Gregorian, and I'm going to invite you. You've got to do this. You're going to break out of the matrix, the breakthrough out of the religious matrix, the health matrix, the financial matrix, all these matrices, the 3D matrix. Break out of it and go to Lemuria. I'm saying go to Lemuria on it, because it's a consciousness shift that happened like that. So, and then there are things to help to follow on from that can go with you and support you on that journey as you're starting to break out. There are ceremonies and modalities for this. And there is the speaking of and the tools and of the language that can be shared with. It's not really language, it's vibration, energy, frequency, magnetic. And the less you talk, the better. I seem to be yabbering right now, but the less you talk, the better.
Don't tell my sisters that. They've been telling me that for years. I refuse to admit they're right. But they won't be watching, so it's absolutely fine. But I have been told that a lot in my life, and I am getting better at it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, grounding yourself is so important. It's really interesting you say that, because obviously we talk a lot about grounding, but when I was going through the ceremony with Huna, that was the overwhelming feeling that I had, was of being so grounded and literally growing roots into the ground. And I'm very lucky where I am. I am out in nature most of the day, every day, but it's all right being physically out there, but you've got to be energetically connected as well, which is really important, isn't it, Huna?
Yeah, I mean, you all obviously have practices. You have a practice. Nature is really helpful, of course. But if you have a practice, or if you need a practice, we can share some practices with you. There are so many Hunas now doing the practices and doing ceremonies. And they have many other tools too, not just Lemurian, but certainly Lemuria. Just it's guaranteed that things happen and things are moving, and the grounding aspect of it is even so more important, so that the masculine energy can anchor the right way, and the balance of the both can come in.
I think it's really good to talk about some tools and techniques people do. I've seen a few people in the chat saying, and the lady who was asking about the medication, be very careful. Absolutely. Be very, very careful if you're coming off medication, to make sure that you're getting the right support, and also that you've got, as Huna was saying, that you're working with someone, whoever that is you choose, to make sure that you've got the right tools and energies to replace it with. So, of course, do be very careful, anyone who is on medication, to do that in a safe and controlled way. So some of the tools that people could start doing.
Okay. Today. Okay. So repeat after me. Ma, first light. Ha, first breath. Ka, first birth. Wa, first love. Ta, first stone. He, first fire. Ma, ha, ka, wa, ta, he, ta, wa, ka, ha, ma. Okay. Now, what did I just do? If you get a feeling from it, great right now. Maybe you're getting a feeling it from it after. If you repeat this, speak it. Okay. So what did I just do? What I shared with you was known as the first principles from Lemuria. And we are speaking the first light. We are not talking about this lifetime. We are talking like so long ago, but it can also be now in an instant. It's a consciousness shift. Begin there. Shift the consciousness. Okay. And that will help you shift the consciousness. Mahakawatahi tawakahama. Okay. Now you can continue that. And notice that it's like a corkscrew. Mahakawatahi tawakaha mahakawatahi tawakaha mahakawatahi tawakaha mahakawatahi tawakaha mahakawatahi tawakaha mahakawatahi. Now I'll challenge you to be spinning counterclockwise while saying that. And because you will purge, you continue with that, even more so when you are speaking the first principles, and you will purge, just like ayahuasca will purge you. This is the feeling, the energy and the medicine of ayahuasca, but without the plant. You will purge, and you will purge things, that will come up. In other words, what is ayahuasca? It's a purge. There's a connection to the spirituality where you get dizzy. Yeah, well, you're going to spin counterclockwise. You will get dizzy, and you will see things, and you keep it up until you fall down and lay down, and then you just trying to catch yourself, right? Aren't you? You're trying to catch yourself. So mahaka watahi, tawakaha mahaka watahi is understanding of there and back again. Go outside of yourself and then back into yourself again. Begin that. That's a small thing. There's so much more. There's a whole lot more. Okay. And we just got a little bit of time, and I want to share that with you because it's first principles. And we operate from first principles, right? It is accountability and responsibility to each other through first principles. The cosmic law of free will, that which carries accountability and responsibility to each other. There is medicine there, right? There's the tools, those are modalities there. And so that one there, right there, that first principle is an incredible tool. It'll start you on your path, and to maybe you'll ask more questions and we can stay in contact, because there's more things to go with it.
So for those of you saying, will I put that below in the description, what I would encourage you to do is go and record that little bit, that section from the recording as it goes up on your phone, and then you can make your own nights and listen to it. You can even record it on your phone and use it as a little meditation, etc. Because it's really important we all use these tools in the way that we want to use them, and also we all take the responsibility for taking that information on ourselves. So I think that's the beauty of having these on recordings, is you can go back and listen to bits as many times as you like and really take what's resonating with you, because you're going to feel it, the bits that you really need. Certainly that's what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to record it on my phone and then be able to play it back. So let me have a look at any other questions that come through. I want to say thank you so much for this beautiful, this is hysterical, a trance. My hubby will really think I've lost it, spinning and chanting. This is what we like. The madder, the better, honestly. I want to hear your stories next time of the reactions you've got.
That's funny. Yeah, well, that's what we did as children. Is that right? We spun around on a merry-go-round, and we were running around in the sun, spinning in circles. Right? Remember that?
And how freeing it felt when you did that, and what the laughter and the joy about who fell over first and who was the last one standing.
I bet your husband did that too. Right?
Yeah.
You can't tell me that you'll lose it. Surely you remember it being a child.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, now is the time for really getting out there. We've all done so much growing and listening over the last few years, which is so important, and that work will never stop. But putting it into action yourself now is the time, because as we all start embodying this and start changing our behaviors, which then changes our whole energy, which then influences everyone and everything, whether it be plant, animal being around us, then it's so powerful at shifting the collective consciousness. I think you've got a lot going on, haven't you, in terms of more visits and things. So tell us what you're doing from now on. You're going further down in the UK for the next couple of days.
Going to visit a little bit down the line with a few others. Then at the end of the week, I'll be traveling over to Germany. Got to prepare and put some things together over there in Germany, and we're going over to Japan for the end of the month to reset the frequency for the Stargate. So more Stargate work. That is really my, one of the principal things that I do is reset frequencies to the Stargates, particular Stargates, and there are 48 of them that I work with. Okay, I'm up to 20, so it will be the 20th Stargate that's getting its frequency reset, and there'll be 28 left or something. 28 more to come. And then I also have some events starting in January. There is the pulling of the nails. Oof, that one is really something. Pulling of the nails. What do you mean? What do I mean? Pulling the nails from pulling of the nails to bring those down from the cross that have been nailed to the religious matrix, and is the undoing of the threat of sacrifice. If you want to, you can keep it. but that service, and I've done this service before a few times, and it's very powerful, bringing those down from the block of wood. That will take place on the Michael Mary lines, beginning in Mont Saint Michel.
So can people find those details on your new website?
They will. Give it another week and they'll be up there.
I mean, I have that problem as well. Keeping our websites up to date is quite a challenge when we're so sort of busy, as are all of you. So what I would encourage you to do is for Huna's website, just keep checking back each week. And I'm sure you'll be doing lots of talks with people and keeping them update when things are on there. We've got a question about what's your blue ring. It's actual purple.
Oh, this is
beautiful
violet.
purple.
This is the violet ray you call Kumara. It's actually Saint Germain. It's a violet ray ring. Okay, can you see? You can't see it now.
It's quite hard to see the color. It's a beautiful, beautiful violet purple color. It's amazing. Yeah. If you see me wearing it next week, you know he's left it here.
So grateful to receive this beautiful stone, and then had it custom made to go. Actually, you can probably take it off. Had it custom made and seated. Oh, you can see it.
Beautiful, isn't it? Perhaps a bit further away, actually, might be better. Let's have a look.
That's kind of
it's beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. We've got another question from Kieran. This is the second time I have an urgent call from inside to speak out. I'm letting it come. Very strange words and sounds. And now came again. Also, hands. Can I safely continue to do this?
I'm not sure what you mean.
I'm not quite sure. You'd have to elaborate a little bit there, Kieran. We're not quite sure what you mean there. Perhaps if you can elaborate a bit.
Very strange words and sounds. You mean coming out of her mouth, or
I think Kieran? I think that from his mouth. Yeah.
Very strange. Yeah, new things are always strange, right? There is. I would share only the highest intentions. Yeah. What we're doing. Oh, there's Huna Tamaki.
Yeah, lovely to see you. So thank you so much, everyone that's joining us. I'm just trying to, with two of us sharing one screen, scroll through the questions. How many portals are good, Huna?
Well, the 48, I'm working with that.
Yeah.
It's a grid. It's a very high vibration grid it's being set up for the new birthing system. Some of the stargates and portals that you may know of connected to the old wars, the galactic wars, and even some of the earthly wars that they brought the galactic wars to the ground. Okay, they've been taking over some of the portals and old stargates, and so they are being shut down. There's a lot of work to do, but they are being shut down, and the stargates that I am working with at a very specific frequency. There are 3 types of frequencies. There's an angelic frequency gate. There's what is known as the gate of the dove. And then there's also what is the child of light frequency stargates. They're 3 very specific, and they are in a very specific geometry on 12 continents. Okay, 12 continents. All right, and so and then there is the apex. There's apex stargates that are connected to the mountains. Okay, that's total 48.
Is there a stargate in the UK?
No. There was portals here and stargates here have been shut down. The ones that represent this area are in. There's an understanding of the continents first. Okay, got to understand the continents, not just the stargate, but the stargate itself that's set for this continent. For one of the stargates is in France at Saint Nazaire. Okay, in Western France, and it's aligned an angelic frequency stargate that the grids are connected to from here, from certainly grids from the UK that are connected to that stargate. We're moving because a lot of the ley lines and grids were poisoned and infected, so that's why many of the things are being shut down. We've got a lot to do. Got a lot to do.
Lot to do. Lots of helping hands needed. Kieran's just said, Huna, just adding to his bit about the language coming out. When he listens to you, there are lots of words that are coming out of him.
Well, because it's multidimensional language. It's not language. It's multidimensional energy, vibration, and frequency. And it is from before confusion, which is in before distorted light. So it's crystal Christ light, undistorted light. Okay. And so if I say ma, It's not just ma. It's first principle. And so the first principles of any of this carry so many dimensions with it that it can be spoken in many languages, and the many languages come back to the one first principle language. So if you're hearing all kinds of sounds just off ma, first light, it's because all other translations from light languages are coming in to speak ma, but in their way, but coming back to first principle, right? So it's like coming in. It's all coming in, and then it's being returned to you, right? I hope that makes sense.
There's some really good questions coming up here.
Yeah.
Huna, tell us a little bit about some of the workshops you offer.
Well, we have the Dragon Masters course, right? It's a very incredible series of 4 blocks. The 4 blocks have very powerful codings and transmutation, transition, and transcendence sequences that go with them. Okay, there's the Kaha, which is the unification of the chakra systems into source power. So the Lemurian sound of chakra is Kaha, which is first principle. So before the chakra is Kaha, and then you have the other modules is the Wataka, which is an operating systems of Lemuria. You kind of can call it like the calendars, the Lemurian calendar of first light, but it's really not just calendar, it's an operating system, okay, that has some very powerful systems within it. There is the teachings within it that share light and action, or the movement, the moving and the energies of moving the hands and the feet and moving energy physically. And then also another block of modules that share different ceremonies, modalities, such as the cracking and the infinite fractal, okay, and the ceremonies of the continuum. These few ceremonies, they have not been on the planet for a long time. They have come back again because they are needed right now to crack open certain places and energies that need to be cracked open in order for the energies to be cleared and moved. So you have access to that Dragon Masters course. There is also the Dragon Ride, which is an experience in itself, which is a group therapy system. It's a real roller coaster ride. That one is the Dragon Ride. And then there are the introductory webinars. Okay. So far, the new website, we've got the Dragon Masters is being uploaded there now. And there's a membership. There's a monthly membership that's on there as well. And I'm loading up more of the webinars now because I'm transitioning out of the other website, bringing them over. Better system. So hopefully those would be helpful for you.
I really encourage people personally. You know, I'm not trying to sell anyone to anything. I just want to encourage people to really break down those barriers and try. If something's calling for you, whatever it is, you've got to say yes. I've been saying yes a lot more over this last year to opportunities, and it's literally transformed my life. So if you're feeling a calling for something, take that leap of faith and say yes, invest in yourself, because it's so important to do so, because we can't change from the same consciousness that we're at the moment. The world can't change from the same consciousness that we're at. And we need all of us to be saying yes to whatever opportunities are calling you. And that will be different for each and every one of you at this stage, and it will change over time. But you know, the last thing we want to do is look back and sort of say, I wish I'd done this. I wish I'd found out more. I wish I'd found. A lot of people are looking for their callings, but you don't know what your calling is until you step in and try some of these things. Would you agree with that, Huna?
Well, absolutely. It's undiscovered territory, and you are undiscovered country. And occasionally when you're here in this moment, you are discovered and known. And then off you go again, then you're undiscovered again, right? So you're going outside of light. But when you come into light here, after a while, you know, things tend to build up, as you know. And so, but the consciousness itself is accessible outside light, inside of light, and something that is ancient new, It might feel new, but it's actually ancient new that is even maybe familiar to you, some of it. And also will jog your memory as well. So snap your memory into, the 9 senses, an activation of the 9 senses through the memory, and then actually using those 9 senses. People say there's only 5 or 6. Most people only use 3. Oftentimes I scale down to 1, and that's just eating.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it I shut off so I can have a break. All right?
Yeah. Now, Frag is saying, Huna, heard that the Mayan long count calendar was 8 years out. What do you think?
Yeah, it was. It wasn't so much about the dates, and though they were sharing the dates. 2012, with the Mayan calendar returned back to the light. Actually, returned back to the light calendar of Lemuria. The Mayans are Lemurian. You understand? Maya means the memory of heaven, okay, which is love. Maya or Mawa. Maya from the Lemurian means the memory of heaven, to remember heaven. And so the calendar is to remember heaven, but also to return to heaven. And that was confirmed March 8th, 2021 from Stargate 17, that the Mayan calendar actually ended in 2021. But began its journey from 2012, because we know this because we were what was being shifted wasn't the total end of anything. The shifting was the energy that came in, and there was a wave of energy that came in. We spoke of it as the DC, which was the dispensation of compassion. So compassion energy started building and coming through all from 2012. In my understanding, to March 8th, 2021. Now, Huna Marika and I, this is David Mahoney and I, and Huna Pa, we were in the Stargate 17 in Lake Titicaca to confirm that. We were in ceremony, and we were doing work on the understanding of the completion of the Mayan calendar. David Mahoney can speak to that, but also as I speak to this here, it was because of the compassion, the energy of compassion, and the dispensation of compassion took its time to come across through humanity. Because as you know, as soon as everybody said it's the end of 2012, and then what happened? Everyone was saying that's end of days and all these kinds of stories, right? But the energy was just starting to transfer out, and it took us a lot of compassion. There was a lot of compassion that was needed for humanity to get through that period. And we know what happened with many people in society, and just the lack of compassion there was, right? During the period through those days, a lot of people were being killed and arrested and dying in police custody and dying on the streets, choked out on the streets. There was very little compassion when compassion was being asked for. Right, and so have we got any more compassion now? I think we've got lessons that have learned, and since that the Lemuria has entered in the game, we are in the age of Lemuria 5. However you want to look at it, you look at it there you want, and I'm going to share with you that we are in the age of Lemuria 5, and it was guaranteed by the Kumara that the age of Lemuria 5 would return again. It would be the last time we need to reset the frequency. That's what we're saying. And that was asked for a long time ago. If any of you have a familiarity with Sanat Kumara and the Kumaras and the energies that I work with are the Kumara and the knowledge of Lemuria, then we are in the age of Lemuria, not necessarily the age of Aquarius. That is draconian. Okay? You want to be draconian? Well, make a decision. Just jump right out of it. And if you even think this is semantics, so what? Jump right out of it if it's semantics. Come on over. Right? Come over to the light.
I'm sending much love and healing to LaRue, and it'd be lovely if we all could, because LaRue shared earlier on that she's got some physical challenges at the moment. So we're all sending you much love and healing, and it also sounds like you're doing an amazing job yourself. Yeah. Got a question here. Ocean Waves, you said, can you see me visiting the 2 horses? When I'm doing the horses and feeding all the animals, it's really hard. I can't take my laptop. We can't do that down here now because we haven't got Wi-Fi outside, because I'm already right down the garden in my lovely little cabin in the garden. Here we are, surrounded by all the animals. But what I'll try and do is try and get it on video so I can pop it on my Instagram tomorrow. So I'll try and do that, because normally when I'm doing the animals, I haven't got enough hands. But we've got Huna's hands here, so yep. I'm sure he will want to come and see them. So Huna, we've got a question here from Blissful. Is it common for you to see cryptids appear in your travels? Years back, my dog and I had to stare down with a dogman type near my off-grid cabin.
What's a cryptid? What?
I don't know. I was hoping you'd
see
know.
Cryptids appear. Cryptids.
Blissful, can you just clarify?
Oh, is that an insect or something? A star being? Cryptid.
Yeah, to clarify there. Have you got plans with having people saying Canada, they were asking above, and Denmark? Have you got any plans to go to Denmark or Canada, Human?
As soon as you get rid of what's his face, Castro's son will come to Canada. What's his name? I forgot his name anyway. Your prime minister, change him out first. All right.
So you could just get rid of your prime minister, then he'll come.
Yeah, get rid of.
Oh, and Canada. Oh,
yeah, Canada. What's his name?
Turdo. We can't say his proper name. I can only call him Turdo. I refuse to call him his proper name.
What's his face anyway? The guy that was arresting all the truck drivers. Yeah, what a.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's on the books. We're looking at it. I'm looking at it. I'm and also would like to come to Denmark, and I've been to Denmark before a few times. I've actually activated the frequency of a Stargate that's in Denmark, by the way, in Aarhus. Would you know that? Near the Kattegat Strait. Okay. And so there is more things to do in that area, and we have to build up a gathering so that also helps me get there. All right. But let's do that. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'm trying to focus out of Europe now, because I've been in Europe for the past 5 years doing a lot of work back and forth every month. And the other places are now calling as well. So Africa, where I just came from, and Australia has been really, really going for it, and then Asia. Although I say this, I just always end up back in Europe somehow.
You drag them back. But this is where it is. So I would encourage everyone, to get hold of Huna and ask and, contribute, because when people have been through some of this training and things, am I right that they can sometimes have the opportunity to come and join you on some of your travels?
Yes. Once certainly if you're sealed, I prefer those to receive the seal before you come to the Stargate. Because of this, I'm very protective of the frequencies at these Stargates that are moving beyond what they once were, right? So we can no longer be with the draconian anything at these Stargates. We cannot take that frequency there. Not that you are, but let me share. There's some wisdom and knowledge. So you will take the seal and then even have a dragon ride, which help clear out the energies on right there on location. So sometimes I do the dragon ride that helps prepare you for the Stargate. And certainly if you are sealed, it is most preferred by myself and the team. All the team that goes are all sealed members. They're sealed Huna, receive the unlimited and the infinite. We cannot be stuck in limited and labels. We must be, as we are unlimited and infinite, so is the Stargate, okay? And they will not be used for war, all right? So, and any of these intentions, okay? So there's a process for that. Japan's coming up. If you're interested, you can do the seal and then you can come, all right?
And you can do the seals over Zoom as well.
Yeah, we can do the seal on stream, actually streaming seals. Yeah. We can do that. All we do is you just sign up on a website and then we set up a date and time, or you can just come in person to the location where we're going to be. All right, and we talk about that.
So don't be shy in asking questions. If it's something that appeals to you, you can reach out to Huna on his website. This evening, I will go back in and put all the details below to make sure I've got all his correct details. So we've got a question here. Are you expecting the solar flash to happen?
flash, I will flash you. Okay, that's why I'm nicknamed the Flash, Huna Flash, because I flash the system. Is there a solar flash? Yeah, there's a solar flash all the time. There's always solar flares and solar flashes. Okay, they're actually named after me. Just kidding. But yes, there is a solar flash at different times. If you're going to hang around and wait for the date, don't bother with it. Just be on the planet. Because you're on the planet, you're going to get it. But also, let me share something with you. The seal is also a flashing of the system. Okay, so there's frequencies that get flashed through you when I do the seal. So that's also something to think about, right? Whether you believe that or not, I just share that with you. Okay, and it is a leap into the frequencies, the next frequencies that happen during the seal for Catherine. It happens through all the seals. There's a flashing of the system through the frequencies that I input into your system. Okay, and it's inputted through the let me say, bionic sounds that start out human but end up not being human. There's a bit of both in there, and the energies that follow through after that flashes your system. Okay.
I'll be keeping you all updated about how I'm feeling, but of course, I'm sure you will all be keeping me updated about what you're noticing, because in terms of the person and everyone they're interacting with, you're all going to notice different things. And I'll also keep you updated about what my animals have got to say. So that will be really fascinating to see as well. We've got a question here. It's come up a couple of times. From Danny, that there's ring-shaped hospitals being built in Denmark.
Yeah, I've heard about that. That's just more vibrational, high vibration types of structures in Denmark. I've heard a little bit about it. I haven't delved into it, but that's just interesting. Anything to help the vibration and the frequency. Yeah, nothing wrong with a good old circle.
Yeah. Dan's same thought, flashing was illegal. We're writing our own rules now.
Huna Flash is not illegal. Flashing is.
Frat, high vibes. I have been in contact with the lovely Candy and Kid from High Vibes. We are talking a lot, and also I'm helping with them with their lovely cats and everything. So I'm sure that is a collaboration you will be seeing very soon. Are we able to go now and pay for a seal session? Quantum Co-Creations. What a fantastic name. Quantum
Co-Creation. Yes, you are. Just again, houseofhuna.earth, and then just select the seal button. Now, once we get your email confirmed, then one of the Hunas the office will contact you, and we can talk about a date and a time. And if you want to in person, to be at the location where I'm going to be, or you'll come to me, or on the streaming is also, and it's as equally as powerful on the stream, by the way. The system that I use for it is through the water and the stone. Okay, so yes, absolutely, be so grateful and be a pleasure to meet you there in the seal. So yeah, jump right over there now and do that. Why not? You know, we're in seal mode these days, anyway.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's seeking and awakening and remembering, and then this seals are like a flashing of the system and a nice boost of the energy.
So we've got Danny saying that portals sound evil, and we've got, I mean, some of your names, I have no idea how you pronounce them, but there's a lot of people that are feeling this, Huna, about they just don't know what to trust anymore, because, you know, they've looked into this information, they've looked into that information and everything. And for me, I'll just say my bit first and see what you think, is this is why we all do the work, because what we're doing is we're learning to feel these things and not just intellectualize and go from our headspace about what to trust and what not. That's never going to give you the right answer. You've got to really embody it and feel it. And this is why we talk so much about all these different tools and techniques to do so. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, the bigger your toolkit, the better it is. You're able to present them at any given situation. But if you're talking about portals, there are some portals that have been forced open and forced to on the surface to manipulate humanity and also drag you down into the second dimension, which for you would be the underworld. Okay, so we've been shutting those portals down. But let me just say, you must have an understanding of these things to know where you're going and what you're going to do with them, and the experience to know what you're going to do if you're either going to shut them down, close them off so they are not usable, and or reset the frequencies to higher vibrations so the lower intentions cannot even use them. Okay, that's the things that the Hunas do, and I suppose you could be afraid of them because they have historically been harmful in ways, and a lot of people using dark systems, dark operating systems, dark intentions, dark magic, and these kinds of things, if you will, and has left a sour taste in for those that remember that. Okay, but that's not what I do. I close those things down and reset the frequencies, or just shut them down completely. And that is straight up from knowing how to do it. That's from years of experience of doing. So you can't just walk right in until you want to do it. You got to have many things in place.
Yes, stripped it out. I trust in you. I'm watching. No, I wasn't meaning it as a negative. I was saying it was a really good question that you asked about the trust thing, because it's not a point in time for me. Trust. It's not you've got trust and that's it. For me, trust is something that you receive every day. It's not that you've got it once and you can tick it off the list. And I think that's the thing, is everyone and everything is changing. And I think anyone who's watching this today is very much in a questioning mindset, which is really, really important. And that is the first stage. And it's like anything, when you're exercising, I need to use that one, exercising those muscles, the intuition muscle, the belief in what you can feel is right and what isn't. These are all muscles that the more we use them, the more we question, the more we feel into it, the more we take feedback, because sometimes we will get it wrong. Gosh, I've got it wrong plenty of times. But the thing is are we learning from it? And so long as we learn from these experiences, then you build that muscle, you build the resilience to make it easier the next time.
Absolutely. Get thick skin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Build up. You get fit. It's like getting fit. Okay. Somebody's asking about the hospitals, or said something about the hospitals being round and evil.
Don't hospitals represent evil? Meaning ring shape will act like a portal, and either one. Well,
the hospice was the original understanding of the hospitals, where there was care given to those who were close to death. And if these structures are not catered to properly with a maintenance program of high vibration, in other words, light energy workers to go and healers to go there and work on the structures themselves on a regular maintenance program, everything would be all right. But energies do accumulate there, and so there is a lot of souls coming and going. There is techniques to clear these places out. By the way, this is what some of the things we've done. I've done hospitals by the way, I've done some hospital work on Martha's Vineyard. We've done hospital work on Columbia University in Manhattan. It's spun the whole building to clean it out. Done a lot of work like that. And yes, but you've got to keep the maintenance up on these things, right? Yes, how many portals are still to be closed? Dude, that's a loaded question. There's so many, because there's also people opening them in their backyards. Are you kidding me? They don't know anything about it, and they're doing these things. Okay, so yeah, you could have one in every backyard, like everyone's got a swimming pool. That's how many there could be. Right, and they use a swimming pool as well as a vortex. So it's just what is important is the ley line, and connecting to the ley line and ensuring that the ley line in the grid is being cleared, because a lot of these portals will tie into a junction point and a node somewhere, or a ley line somewhere along the energetic lines, because they feed from those energy lines. So long as you know where the energetic lines are, and you're clearing those ley lines and the sacred sites that are also energetically supporting them, right? That's sucking off that energy.
We'll just do a couple more questions because I can't believe it. We've been on for over an hour already and I haven't even fed Huna yet.
It's after 6 already.
So I haven't fed the poor man. All my rabbits or guinea pigs who will actually definitely get fed before Huna does.
I'll be eating guinea pig food.
You will, yeah, guinea pig food, not guinea pigs. So we've got a couple more questions. Kay, are portals for coming in and stargates for going out?
Portals for coming in and stargates for going out. Portals are used used for transportation, interdimensional travel at their lower vibration frequencies. The stargates were also used in a way, but are now being from accountability and responsibility to the stargates, they are no longer used for transporting like that. That's and because these particular stargates of higher vibrations are set to support the child of light that will be coming here. Okay, so we'll be working with the stargates aligned to their crystal codes, and the crystal code at the center of the planet to allow the child to come in without being interfered with in the magnetic field. Okay, so there is a switching of the stargates that's going to be of under the highest guardianship that supports the vibrations for the child of light to enter through. Okay, before entering into the womb, they will enter the crystal light of days, awaiting a womb. Okay, awaiting, because there is a waiting list, ladies and gentlemen. And another reason why the feminine is rising, because we really absolutely need the womb to rise vibration into the highest frequency. It's not about feminine raising the vibration to be better than the masculine or anything like that, or a warrior, become warrior. Is to raise the vibration of the womb for the child of light to enter into. Okay, so it's kind of like if you smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol and take drugs all day long and you're pregnant. Wow, hello. So and that's not such a high vibration. So we need to and energetically, and you can do this with your nutrition and your health and these things that support the stargates, and that's why it's so important. And the feminine rising and the stargates aligned to the child of light frequency, and only a certain amount of stargates on the planet that are available for that. Okay. Otherwise, there's a lot of hanky-panky going on again. Mm-hmm. Right? Accountability and responsibility is part of the free will now. Got to get used to it. It's more fun anyway.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I'm so happy to have Huna here. It's just fantastic. It's really fantastic to have all of you joining us as well. Thank you for your brilliant questions. I will put all the details below the video later, and have a fantastic time, guys, and go and explore what resonates with you. Any final words from you, Huna?
Welcome to the house of Huna Kawahori and connecting. And thank you so much, everybody here, for receiving this moment. I know it was last minute.
Yeah, we were so surprised to see you all. So very last minute, we were running around.
Wonderful to meet you all. Thank you for those that are coming to the website. You just shared someone that's come to the website already to sign up. So I will prepare for them.
Lots of love to everyone. We will be back soon. Thank you so much for joining us. Have an amazing day, evening, wherever you are. Bye.